When you're looking at the injectors today, pay attention. If you're not a detailed orientated person, become a very detailed orientated person, because pay attention, it's all in the details. Pay attention to every aspect. Pay attention to their body language. Pay attention to their stance. Look at the opposite hands. Look at how fast or slow they're moving the needle or cannula. Look at what they're doing with the other hand, because they could either be tenting the skin, tapping the skin to distract the patient. There's all these little details that you're gonna pick up on. And in fact, that's how I got the best learning, is by watching and watching other injectors and learning. So you can call me a voyeur and I'll take that. This slide just shows what's called the gonial angle. This is the angle from the inferior border of the mandible to the posterior ramus of the angle. You kind of want to evaluate that in your patient. A good, I guess, an attractive gonial angle would be probably between like 105 to 120. That's debatable, but that's an attractive gonial angle. So the anterior border of the masseter, just above right there, that's the danger zone. You just don't want to go near there. If I do go near there, I'm very superficial. I'm like subcutaneous or subdermal right there, okay? Like where the tip's gonna be, it's gonna be this way. I would kind of like to shorten that angle a little bit. So I'm gonna make my porthole right here, but then I'm gonna be very superficial right here. So I've measured out kind of where the extent of my tip of my cannula is gonna be. I'm gonna make my porthole right there. How was that? Did you feel very much pain? Not at all. She didn't feel very much pain at all. So another tip, instead of going forward and jabbing the needle with your hand, with your right hand, if you can pull the skin up towards the needle, they tend to feel less pain. So that's a cool little trick that I picked up. I found it. So there's gonna be a little bit of resistance. There's some fibrous tissue in this area. You doing okay, Kim? Yeah, all right. And you can use your non-dominant finger. You can mold this product. It's pretty stiff, and I mean, it looks like, it looks and feels like toothpaste, but you can definitely mold this product. You don't wanna be too superficial. You don't wanna be dermal with this product. It'll be a little lumpy, and radius, I have radius plus, by the way. Do you know the difference between radius and radius plus? Okay, so the radius non-plus does not have lidocaine. The radius plus has lidocaine. One of my newbie mistakes that I did when I first started was, well, I could just mix lidocaine with it. But guess what? That actually dilutes the G prime. So if you're mixing liquid lidocaine with the non-radius plus, you're actually lowering significantly the G prime factor, the lifting factor. So, the radius plus actually has lidocaine mixed in. It's pre-mixed, but it's powdered lidocaine, so they maintain the lifting ability. So I've used majority of the 1.5 cc's of the radius here. So I'm going to switch out the cannula, and I'm going to use a needle for that gonial angle. And one little tip I'm going to suggest that you do is to keep a finger pressed against the inner aspect of that angle. That way you keep the product from, it can migrate. So you don't want it to go into the neck and have like a extra lymph node below the angle. So you want to keep that finger there so that product doesn't migrate. So pay attention to this. 1, 2. I'm going to go right on the periosteum, and I'm going to pull back for safety, aspirate, and then inject. And I've got a little bit left, 0.1. So sometimes what I can do is I'm going to go vertically up this angle right here. Can you see that on the screen? And again, I'm subdermal to subcutaneous here, and moving the needle back and forth. And that's one syringe, which is 1.5 cc of the radius plus. Does it look okay? Yeah. Can you see a difference? Excellent, excellent.